legendary modders, and welcome to a new video, and this time it will be about how I built the legendary Snowspeeder from a Star Wars movie. As you can see, I started like always cutting the plastic part from the sprue with a sharp side cutters. After that I cleaned the excess plastic with a very sharp knife and with a careful movements. And of course don't forget on the cockpit or some other parts for the ship as well. Here you can see a lot of excess plastic, so I can use just a Excel knife and cut the pieces off, and here you can see ugly pinholes which I try to turn it out with a Excel knife with a fast movement, as you can see right here. When I'm done with the cleaning, I just start gluing the part for the seat, as you can see right here, to make it look pretty nice. And I use extra sharp knife for correcting the position. And of course here you can see again ugly excess plastic on the sides of the cockpit, so I use just a sharp knife, and of course later I use nail files to do smooth finish. And later I will use some wires for adding additional detail to it, and as you can see I'm using nail files right there. And here again cleaning the excess molds with a sharp knife on like a cockpit part, on the motherboard part. And now I used super glue and wires to add additional details on the cockpit side. And of course don't forget cut the excess wires with just cutters. With these steps is cockpit almost finished, and I add the, of course, panels for the communication, and of course measuring the speed of the light and some other details like in the Star Wars movie. And I use for glue just a thin glue like always. When I spray the whole cockpit in a black primer color, I start painting with tiny brushes the small details on the cockpit with white, red, yellow, blue colors to just add some additional details. Of course, little scratches inside of the cockpit after use and a lot of battle on the planet Hot. And of course adding some dirt, as you can see, adding finally the pilots. I hope you see the video and you can see closer look how it looks almost finished. After the completing of the main structure, I use again some thin glue and side cutters for the part for the engine. Is this grill, as you can see. Of course putting it together with the back part, as you can see right now, and secure it with a thin glue from Mr. Cement S, and completing the bottom part of the Snowspeeder finally. And now starting the parts for the guns, and here it is, the main, again the part of the engine, like the size of the engine or something like that. Adding this part cover for the guns later. It is really easy model like a Lego, so it was pretty fun and easy to build. Adding this small gun here to the base. And now here you can see complete the gun part, adding to the, I think, cover part. I'm not sure really. And I use black masking tape to mask the pilots here, and after that I try to mask this clear part. And before the painting, like always, I just clean the whole model with isopropyl alcohol and with a paintbrush. And after that I start spraying the thin layers on the model, and I use primer from Gunza. If you're asking what is your airbrush, my airbrush is Fengda AG100 with 0.3 or 0.5mm nozzle, and I use, again as I said, the primer from Gunze, and I sprayed thin layers to the smooth finish, as you can see, to the full opacity. After the spraying of the base color with base primer, I start spraying the base, like the final color of the Snowspeeder, and I choose Revell light gray. And as you can see, I just start spraying it on the whole model evenly with a small thin layers, as you can see right now. And for some areas I use again light gray with a black, and I spray it on mostly on the few raised areas to bring some other color deterioration, as you can see. And of course, don't forget on some lighter areas here, and again just a light color with a small drop of a white. After the base color modulation and base coloring, I grab a paintbrush and start painting small details with it, and these parts for the engine and for the guns mostly I use, as you can see, gunmetal color for parts for the guns and aluminum color for the engine parts and some other details on the ship as well. And here you can see how I paint a grill for the engine on the back. When the painting is done of the details, I start making some scratches to the ship as well. I use Revell colors like always. I use just Ziegler rod and just small touches with a brush on the surface. And after that, I secure the whole model with a lacquer varnish. After the varnish, I can easily use decals chemicals like decals setter and set the decals properly on the surface. As you can see, I slightly polishing the decal with a finger and of course later with the tweezers. And as I said, I use of course decal softener to copy the details underneath. And for the dirty work, I use the ammo MIG wash and I flow it to mostly to the panel lines, as you can see, and of course there's some the upper details like on these shafts for the guns, of course to the engine parts as well, and on the whole ship. And for cleaning I used enamel thinner. And of course don't forget on the bottom part of the ship as well, I just use a white brush to fasten the process, because it will be just a dirtier bottom part, and again I use the enamel thinner to clean the excess wash out. And after that we just again use matte varnish in a spray can and spray the whole model with it, adding the stand, and I use Revell contact glue to hold it to the place, and again final touches with a matte varnish on the model. And the last thing is just tear out the black masking tape with the tweezers, and with this step is well finished.